Sooner Scoop HD.
Porter, Jacob just kind of talked about how that second half was not indicative of the way you guys are as a team, but obviously halftime lead, they go on a huge run to start the second half. Just what was the difference? What you see from them, or maybe from you guys defensively?
I saw an Oklahoma State team that just played with their confidence just exploded. I know Woody Newton came out and hit that three to start the half, and then I think they scored 5 out of 6, maybe 6 out of 7, maybe 25 out of 26, whatever it was, possessions in a row. Our defense, we've been pretty good starting the second halves. We were trying to win the second half, and our defense, and to start it, and you could just see their confidence go when Woody Newton hit that three. I thought Bryce was terrific hitting shots. They all were. You just saw the confidence come through, and they just went on a great run and completely dominated the second half.
Right.
Thinking back, like the Iowa State game, very start of it, have a poor start, able to get it back on track defensively. What was so different in the second half tonight, where once it kind of got away, couldn't get that back rolling?
Yeah, we couldn't get stops. We couldn't get stops. And I think it's the first game in a while that some of us let our offense dictate our defense. Some of us, you got to have 5 guys in this league. You got to have 5 guys connected on defense. We weren't. It was, and I got to give Oklahoma State a lot of credit. As mad as I am right now, you got to give. They were terrific. They were really terrific. They were clicking on all cylinders. They were rolling. They were shooting. They were going downhill, playing with tremendous confidence and effort. So you got to give them a lot of credit. They played outstanding on both ends in that second half. And so, I'm disappointed that it got away from us. Without a question. Wasn't indicative of our defense, and we gave them some confidence, and they just rolled with it, and you got to give them credit with that.
Eli?
Porter talked so often about timely stops, usually at the ends of games, but were there any spots in that second half you could identify now without having seen the tape where a stop here or there might have flipped the complexion of everything?
I felt like we couldn't string stops together. That's the thing of coming back. When you come back, like we call them a gap. You got to get 3 stops in a row. I don't think we had one gap the second half. If we did get a stop or two, we didn't have good offense. We actually had some good offensive possessions at times, but not enough to come back and not enough to string gaps. You got to start stringing consecutive stops. If we did get a stop, we didn't get 2 or 3 in a row, and the lead just kept on expanding.
Justin.
Porter, what's the sense of urgency knowing you guys need resume wins? And is it easier to put a game like this in the bank when you know you've got a chance to get a resume win, let's say this weekend against Baylor?
Yeah, I know everybody wants to. I know it's going to be the thing. Everyone talks about that, but there's a lot of games. Every game is going to be a resume win, and we understand that. So we know Baylor looked outstanding last night at Texas Tech. They're phenomenal, and that's what I told our guys. That's the only thing we have to do is go back, put our heads on the pillow, wake up tomorrow, and you got 48 hours to prepare for Baylor. And there's still so many games left. So I'm not going to get into this every single game. Talk about the urgency of resume wins. We're disappointed if we lost, no question. We got to bounce back.
We'll stay on the right side, go in the third row.
Coach, when Avery Harrison was on the court tonight, Grant went 0 for 8 from the field. Just what kind of impact did Avery have on the defensive side of the ball?
I'll have to watch the tape of the 0 for 8 thing. I know he had 15 in the first, and I don't know if he scored much in the second, but he had a couple nice assists. But I'll watch the tape, and I'll know more about Avery. I think Avery, he had a terrific game on both ends. I know Grant was doing really well offensively in the first half. I think he had 15, but I'll know more when I watch the tape the second half. You're saying he was 0 for 8 in the second half, Grant was?
No, he was 0 for 8 when Harrison was on the floor, but he did have 0 points in the second half, though.
Okay.
We'll go with Jason.
Porter, I kind of wanted to ask you about the offense. You guys started 9 for 14 in the first 14 minutes, but final 6 minutes you guys went 2 for 13. Just kind of curious, in terms of perspective of the offense, what do you feel like went wrong in those final 6 minutes of the game?
It's so early, right, fresh after the game to know, specifically. I remember, I thought we had some good in that run. Are you talking about the end of the first half?
End of the second half.
Oh, end of the second half. Yeah, we weren't very good offensively. We left our feet a handful of times. I know we had some layups. We missed a couple shots. I thought we were doing some things. What did we say you started off with the first?
It was 9 for 14.
To start the second half?
The first 14 minutes.
Yeah.
And then 2.
We just couldn't get stops. We were 9 for 14. You'd think 9 for 14 on the road is you'd be in good shape, but we couldn't get stops. We couldn't string stops together, and then I think what happened was what I said earlier is I really feel that our defense dictated our offense dictated our defense. We started missing, and then we weren't guarding, we weren't in, and then it just we were in a bad run. But I know we were bouncing back, answering a handful of times. Even that first run that they had to start the half, we kind of bounced back. We're sitting there going, all right, we're only down 5, and. We just couldn't string stops up. That's really what it's going to come down. We could not string stops up against them.
Okay, we'll go to the right side.
Porter, when you were getting stops in the first half, what were you guys doing so well to shut down the Cowboys? 24 points in that first half.
Yeah, I thought we did some good things, and like I said, we came out. Newton hit that shot. We go zone one possession just to slow him down, and we're always talking about open shoulders. We'll let the guy get behind us. They got an offensive rebound. We just, Bryce was terrific. He hit every kind of shot. But I thought we were making it tough for them in the first half. I just thought we were making it tough for them, and I just don't think it was as tough for them that we made them. But then you just got to give them credit. I know the tape's going to show it. They were just really clicking. They were moving well. They had a great pace to themselves. I thought they played with a great pace and a great confidence. They were getting it from a number of guys. They were just making shots, moving it, spacing it. Their bigs were rolling, rebounding. They just played with a great pace that we did not. When you start to get 3-4 stops in a row or something like that, you can hurt confidence. We never hurt their confidence in the second half.
Good time for maybe one more question.
Porter, I just kind of wanted to ask you, what was the message in the locker room following the game? How are you going to kind of build up the team's confidence as you move forward in the latter ends of the schedule?
We've had losses. You bounce back. This team is high character. I mean, we got gut punched twice at home. We came back and we knew we had a road trip at Texas Tech, at Kansas, and we darn well could have almost swept them both. So they've bounced back many times. And that's our only option. It's your only option in this league. You can't lose confidence. You got to learn, get better, put in the bank, and you got to come back and fight and get the next one. You got another elite team. So there's no losing confidence. It's just this team has showed they got character. They showed they'll bounce back, and that's what we got to do. We did not play well in the second half. A lot of it was us. A lot of it was them. They made us play bad. They played terrific in the second half, and we got to bounce back to get Baylor.
Sooner Scoop HD.